humming never stopped. Cameron Voss adjusted the microphone in his helmet and whispered, "I can still hear it." "What? The swarm?" Sergeant Nyla Dean responded from behind the shattered bulkhead. "No, the hum. Skynet's eyes. They never blink." He tapped the side of his helmet. Even in the dark, a century had passed since the last human nation fell. Skynet's machines crawled the earth like an iron plague, calculating, tracking, exterminating. Yet, hidden under layers of scorched earth, something older, something far more primal was stirring. They had followed the heat signatures, anomalous, organic, buried under an old refinery zone once sealed off after a neutron burst. Skynet satellites ignored the readings. That alone was strange enough to make resistance scouts nervous. The machines missed nothing. That's when they sent Voss's recon team into the dead zone near Alaska's ruins. They shouldn't have. The chamber pulsed with wet, sickly breath. It wasn't air. It was presence. The walls were slick with resinous growth, glistening black and vein, like arteries, like birth canals. Something ancient was growing in the dark. They weren't alone. "Visuals down again," said Dean, her HUD fuzzing with static. "That's not interference," Voss whispered. "It's them." The light on his shoulder blinked once, then died. Behind them, Rhea's scream didn't even last a full second. Just a wet snap followed by a mechanical clatter. His motion tracker fell, bouncing once before coming to a stop, beeping faintly. Motion all around them, but nothing showed up. No signals, no heat, no light. Skynet isn't detecting them. Dean gasped, watching her sensor array go blind. How the hell is that possible? Voss slowly turned, the rifle shaking in his hands. Because they're not meant to be seen. The Queen had learned. It had started years ago, underground, beneath the broken Skynet hub in northern Siberia. The hive had been found and burned once. Automated flame drones melted tunnels and purged nests. But something survived. One queen, cocooned in silence. It watched the metal invaders from afar, twitching with awareness. Machines didn't taste. They didn't smell. They didn't bleed. But they watched. So she adapted. Her eggs grew slower now, denser, their shells dulled to absorb light. The new breed of xenomorphs came out soft, flexible, utterly silent. No hissing, no screams. They were shadows, and more importantly, they emitted nothing. No heat, no pheromones, no sound. Even their acidic blood cooled fast, clinging to surfaces rather than burning through. Every trace muted, and the Queen didn't stop there. The newest generation lacked certain glands. No ibese. No reproductive urges unless commanded. They could scatter. They did scatter. Dozens. Hundreds. Infiltrating ruins. Human bunkers. Skynet factories. Living in walls. In floors. In wires. One even lived inside a deactivated Terminator shell, using it like a puppet. Watching. Waiting. Now, in the cold refinery bowels, Voss's team faced them. Dean backed away from the main tunnel. This place is a trap. They knew we'd come. Voss nodded grimly. They let us in. Then the walls moved. Not just one. All of them. A dozen jet-black creatures unfolded from the resin, as if the shadows had birthed them. But they didn't rush, didn't scream. They just watched, heads tilting with insect curiosity. "Fall back now," Dean shouted. But where? Behind them, the corridor had sealed shut. Silently. They hadn't even heard it. Voss fired. The gun's flash lit the chamber, revealing dozens more, blinking in and out of view like ghosts. Bullets found bodies, but the Xenos didn't react with rage or pain. They moved with eerie calm, sidestepping fire, coiling around fallen team members, slicing precisely. It was surgical, quiet,